Hi, I'm Kim Barrett, and this is all about real estate with Kim Barrett. Welcome. You didn't find this video, just so you know. This video found you, but you're a little bit behind because this is November 5th, but this is day 4 in the series, New Agents, How to Generate 10 Referrals in 30 Days. If you're interested, jump on board. You've got some catching up to do, but that's okay. You're going to have to go back and you're going to have to watch video number 1, number 2, and number 3 in the same series, New Agents, How to Generate 10 Referrals in 30 Days. But you can do it. You can do it. There's instructions along with each video, and I'm going to continue to do a video every single day to help those who are serious about their business and committed to actually reaching the goal of 10 referrals in the next 30 days. We're going to use the month of November to change your trajectory and to just transform your business. Would you like that? You might be a seasoned agent who's struggling. You've just hit a dry spot, or maybe you've been in a dry spot, or you might be a newer agent. But I'm here to help you, but you've got to help yourself. So follow the videos, do the steps, and let's just enjoy the journey. And today's step for success is going to be something that you've probably never done, never thought of. But you know, in other businesses, other industries, a company culture is almost, it's like having gravy with your mashed potatoes, you know? You have to have a company culture. And it doesn't matter that your office or your organization may not have a company culture, because you can create your own. But what I'm going to share with you in this lesson and in this program is I'm going to share with you the culture that I created for my organization, because I think it's an absolutely fantastic culture, and then it's up to you to do the work. And so here's the thing. You've missed a couple of days of videos and steps and lessons, so you're going to need to catch up. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk to you for a minute about culture. And culture is something that is the essence of the work environment, and believe it or not, it has everything to do with an agent's performance. I know, you're probably scratching your head saying, what could a company culture have to do with performance? Well, I have firsthand personal experience with this one, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But bottom line is, it's amazing. And as I mentioned, in other industries other than real estate, in the workplace, company culture is critical to the work environment and the performance of the individuals that belong to the company, work with the company, work for the company, and the success of everyone. So here's the thing. You have to take a few minutes, and I'm asking you in this particular video at the end, your lesson, your step is to score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. It's okay if you don't have a 10. In fact, you don't want a 10. I don't have a 10. If we had 10s, we would be perfect, and we're not perfect. We're never going to be perfect. So let's be real about it and just be objective and honest and open with yourself, and score yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on each of these culture points. Now, the purpose is to find out where you're strong and where you need improvement, right? So let's just don't think too hard about it. Just do the work, and just, you know, rank yourself, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low, 10 being high. Now, the purpose of this is, you know what your performance has been or is currently in the real estate business. I don't need to know that, but you need to make a note. What's your business like? What's your current sales for 2025 so far? Are you a $500,000 producer? Are you $1 million producer? Are you 2 million, 5 million, 10 million? Where are you at? I have to believe that if you're watching this video, if you sought this video out, or this video sought you out, that you're probably not a top producer. But that doesn't mean that you're not doing very well. And so bottom line is, you need to score yourself. Remember, no 10s, Probably no 9s. Give yourself some room to improve. But the idea is to score yourself and then, like I said, take a look at your performance and make a note of where you are at today, November 5th, 2025, because you're going to find something very, very interesting that I found when I studied this, is that when we bring up those scores, so say you have a 6 or a 5 or a 4 or 3, 2, 1, whatever, in some of these areas, some of these culture points, as you work to bring up those scores, you're going to find your performance is going to automatically rise as well. Now here's a true story. I had an agent working with me. Her name was Linda. When I came up with this culture score outline, I met with my agents and I asked them to do what I'm asking you to do, which was to fill out the form and rank themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. No 10s, no 9s. So they did that, and in Linda's case, she did, and when she was finished, she slid the form over to me, and I went through it, and I said to her, Linda, I agree with you on just about every single culture point except for number 1, a positive energy spirit. You gave yourself a number 8. I would have given you a number 2. Now, Linda literally sank. I mean, she shrugged and she just shrank in her, is that a word? Shrunk. She shrunk in her seat, which was in our conference room, having a meeting about her performance. And we didn't discuss her performance. I already knew her performance. That was not the object. The object was for her to score herself and to see where she felt she was strong and where she felt she needed improvement. But she gave herself an 8 on culture point number 1, a positive energy spirit. And that was not Linda. Linda was a grumbler. She grumbled. She just, she didn't talk a lot, but it was her energy was so low. And that's going to come up. The whole energy, vibration, manifestation, that's going to come up in one of our future videos. So stay tuned, because this is just going to get more and more powerful. And if you're serious, again, you have to be serious. And if you haven't already registered for the 10 referrals in 30 days program for the $99 that it's going to cost you to participate and keep moving with this program, then maybe real estate is not for you. And I'm sorry, I said in an earlier video, I'm real. I don't want to set anybody up for failure. That's my worst nightmare. So if you haven't already signed up and registered for the program so that you can keep going, then I would seriously think about your future in real estate. Bottom line, Linda shrugged and shrugged and shrunk in her seat. And she said, really? And I said, yeah, Linda. I didn't tell her why I thought she was only a 2, because did I say that? She said she was an 8. And I said, Linda, I would agree with you on all of your other scores, but I would not give you an 8. I would have given you a 2. And I meant it. And I was being honest with her. And that's the best thing that I can do with any of my mentees, is to be honest with them. And I'll do the same with you as we go through this program. So bottom line is, her production that year was terrible. She's a good agent. Linda could do $4 million in a heartbeat, but she was not at her game. But she was grumbling. She was not very social, and she was often miserable and just low energy. So I was being very honest with her. Okay, fast forward. I would say 6 or 7 months later, I'm walking down the hall in my office, and I leaned into my office manager's office because Linda was she was happy, and she was almost whistling and walking through the office. And I said to her, Deb, what's up with Linda? And she said, what do you mean? I said, she's changed. she's just seems she's upbeat and she's positive and she's fun to be around. And here's the end. Here's the story. Here's the end of the story. That year, Linda went on to be our #1 agent. I just got goosebumps sharing that, but it's true. So I'm sharing these things with you. Some of these things I have created for my own organization, and I have no problem sharing them with you. These are not for your organization. I don't mind if you want to let your broker know, if they don't already have a company culture, that it's really important that there be a company culture, some kind of standards. The first thing I do if I'm recruiting agents and I meet with someone is to have them score themselves. I want to know, how close are you to the culture points that we have as far as our culture? And this was not easy initially. When I was studying with a mentor myself, we got to the topic of performance culture. And I said, David, I'm not sure what you're asking me. And he said, I want you to come up with some culture points. And I said, well, he says, have you got a culture? And I said, sure. I want agents who are fair and honest, hardworking, team players. And he said, well, Kim, don't you think every business owner wants those things? And I said, yeah, I guess. And he goes, well, then how is it your company culture? Oh my God, a light bulb went off and I was like, that's awesome. Yes. I said, well, give me an idea. Get me started. He said, okay, Kim, when I come to your office and we meet, the first thing I feel when I walk in your office is a positive energy spirit. Do you see the first culture point on my company culture? I took it and ran with it. I then went home and I immediately listed like 20 culture points. David then said it was too many, so I had to remove 10, or I did. I don't know that I had to, but I did. But I didn't just put the culture point. I then put a line, a sentence or two that defined, what does this culture point represent in my organization and for my agents? So I hope this helps you, but I just wanted you to know why this is so important and give you an example of how it is. I've seen it work. So it's one thing to have somebody tell you something. It's another thing to have someone tell you that they've actually witnessed an example of how putting this in action and application can create very, very positive results and an uptick in production for the agent. And so I hope you have a great evening. If you haven't already, please like. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Please click the link and register for the program, 10 referrals in 30 days. Get caught up, because remember, this is video number 4. It's November 5th. But we've already completed a few videos, so go back, and with the same title, New Agents, How to Generate 10 Referrals in 30 Days. Visit video 1, 2, 3. Like I said, today is video 4, and I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. Have a great evening, and God bless.